G'day everyone, it's Turbo Tristan here. I've been working so hard in the shed, I actually forgot that I'm a YouTuber and I'm supposed to film videos for you guys. Without further ado, let's get into an update of the Evo 4 Project Crank Walk. I've done a heap of stuff to this car, most of it off camera, but I can still show you what I've done. Let's do a quick walk around, show you what we've done, and then we'll get to the fun stuff. Firstly, you'll see we've got the thermo fan, the condenser for the AC, we've got the power steering lines back on, we've got all of our new nickel plated hardware on there, so we're using nickel plating for the engine bay. I got all of this stuff back from Baz, and the guy at the plating place sent us back nickel plated instead of zinc plated. So we've got a bit of a mixture, bit of a mixed bag, but I think the nickel plating will look much more modern in the engine bay. All underneath the car is still all zinc coated, fitted in the reconditioned subframe. Now the subframe was sandblasted and KBS coated. I've put on the steering rack, there was nothing wrong with that, it wasn't leaking or anything, the boots are perfect, so we left those on. I do have some outer tie rod ends to change, but these ones are actually pretty good, so I'll just decide if I can be bothered later on and do those. I have gone ahead and fitted a WHITELINE sway bar to the car, which you can see here. And I had to do that before I fitted in the subframe because of the way it goes. It actually goes up over through the subframe. It's pretty much impossible to get that on. We are using WHITELINE end links, which are adjustable. I've got them just all the way down. There's plenty of clearance. So I've started to get the front end together. I've given this a bit of a polish with the wire wheel on the edges, just being very careful not to touch any of the fins. The power steering stuff is back in, the air conditioning stuff is back in, all the wiring and all the brake lines and everything are back in, the ABS unit is back in, and the wiper motor is back in. We've put in the clutch line. We're running a brand new PROTEX clutch master, and we're running a brand new PROTEX brake master. This is the 1-inch one. I've also silicone wrapped the power steering line with the RACEWORKS silicone. And we've got the refurbished, sandblasted and KBS coated brake booster. So that's all in. I've gone ahead and fitted the PROTEX brake rotors and the PROTEX Ultra Plus pads. Funnily enough, because the Evo 4 does not come with Brembo's factory, they actually, turns out they run a Mitsubishi Magna setup in the front brakes. So it's like a Magna VRX. They're almost 300mm rotors with quite a large pad surface area, so more than enough brakes for what we're going to be doing with the car, and quite a large pad surface area. So PROTEX coated rotors and PROTEX Ultra Plus pads in the front. I've got some brand new Premier Auto Trade OE replacement wheel speed sensors in the front, and same goes in the rear. So we've got the wheel speed sensors are in. All of the bolts zinc coated, the brake calipers are in, and I've rebuilt the brake drums. And I've also fitted the WHITELINE sway bar here in the rear, and I kept with the SUPERPRO end links. I just think the blue ties in nicely with all the other blue which we've got here. And I've just chucked the wheels on for clearance. We do need to get new ZESTINO tires on here, as these ones all are bald, cambered out, and that one's full of nails, and that's just because all the bushes and ball joints were so clapped in the back, and the shocks were blown, the springs were cut. Yeah, the tires just wore out incredibly fast. They've still got the little knobbly bits on them, which indicates they're pretty new, but as you can see, totally thrashed and flogged. Both sides full of nails there. I've got the reconditioned tail shaft, and I'm debating whether I keep the factory oil cooler for the power steering or whether I upgrade to a slightly larger one like this. That's an 8-row. This one is a 10-row, so quite a lot bigger. There's plenty of room under the guards to fit larger oil coolers. I did go and buy a 15-row, but this one is too long this way. If it was shorter, it'd be perfect. Really nice unit, Comes with brackets and everything. We've got the RACEWORKS fittings in there, but it's just way too big. Also, I went over to Vega Autosports and I got some new OEM parts. So the battery terminal, this one here is on its last legs. So that goes in the bin. We've got a brand new freshie. I'm going to relocate the battery, but we still need one of these. And we've got some new OEM plugs, which the seat clips into, and then they clip into the base. At the moment, these guys are missing, and it's just sort of floating around the holes. And I couldn't be bothered refurbishing this little inspection plate on the bottom of the gearbox, so I just got a new one. Pretty simple. Put some slaz on there, slap that back in, new bolts, we're good to go. The next thing I did, which I'm pretty proud of myself, it turned out really, really well. I have absolutely no idea what I was doing, but basically the way it came apart is the way it went back together. And I rebuilt the transfer case. If you'll remember from the first videos, it was leaking out of here, leaking from under here and here, and this seal was absolutely cooked as well. So I've sandblasted all of these pieces inside and out. I pulled the whole thing apart, took the diff out, took the crown wheel out. This center piece, it holds in the crown wheel, it holds in the pinion. So I left that together. That didn't get any sand anywhere near it because there's bearings and stuff that go inside here. But this bit, I pulled it all apart, sandblasted it. This bit, I pulled all apart, sandblasted it, and same with this bit. Replaced, there's seals in here I've replaced, seals there I've replaced, O-ring inside there I've replaced. There's an O-ring here I've replaced, and there's also oil seal, oil seal, oil seal, and then siliconed it all up. So check out this really quick time lapse of me having absolutely no idea what I'm doing, and have a bit of a laugh. It's only a short one, so check it out. The next thing I did was totally rebuild this end of this front drive shaft, the front driver's side drive shaft, It was split right in the middle of the boot. I got a brand new OEM boot from Baz, cleaned it all out, made sure there was absolutely no contaminants in there, put some fresh high temp grease in there, packed it out. I've been watching Devon Namila's Evo 8 build on his channel, and man, it's making me feel inadequate watching that, because that thing is absolutely next level. He's coated, zinc coated in his entire drive shaft. Every single part's been zinc coated. Total bare shell, rotisserie rebuild on the car, and everything is next level. One day, I really hope to get there. So if you guys like, subscribe, share the videos around, I can then buy more stuff, buy more equipment, and do bigger, better builds on the channel. We are floating the idea of, once this is done, to move to an R33 GTR or something similar. Let me know what you think we should build next. I've already owned an R33 GTR and a 32. The 33 is by far my favorite. Let me know what you guys think. 2024 is going to be bigger and better. We're not here to muck around and go backwards. We're going to go bigger and better in 2024. I've started collecting parts for a new K-Series build. This one is going to be a high power NA with good gearbox, good LSD, all that sort of stuff. So I've got an RBC manifold with some goodies on there, adapters, block offs, all sorts of little fittings here and there. Going to port that out. We've got some new T7 parts as well, which we'll be using. And I'm going to get that block cleaned and machined and balanced up, ready to send it at the racetrack and rev it to 9 or 10 or something, I don't know. See how we go. Just waiting on some bearings for the 4G63, and I can put that back together. Being the time of year that it is, things are hard to get and they take their time getting here because most people are closed. That's going to wrap it up for 2024. This is where we're at. This is where we're up to. I'm going to keep plugging away and getting all the car put back together so I can start to make some content on it for you guys. But firstly, I just wanted to thank our sponsors. The first sponsor is myself. I work 40 hours a week on a 9-to-5 job, and then I come out to the shed and then I do 6 till midnight most nights of the week, just to get builds done and get cars in and out of the shop. I sponsor myself. I work hard, basically 2 jobs. Then I have a third job, which is spoolup.com.au. I am trying to grow that to a point where I can leave my 9-to-5, run that 9-to-5, and also be out here in the shed to make content for you guys. So if you need any car parts, you can email me if I don't have it on my site, or check out the site. We sell parts for the cars that we build, the cars that you guys are watching the channel for. We have parts on the channel for those cars. So Evo parts, VL parts, K-Series parts, B-Series parts, D-Series parts, Civic, Integra, Accord. We've got some BMW stuff on there. We've even got some AU Falcon stuff on there. I know everyone in Australia is loving the AU Falcons. So we've got that on there. The next sponsor that I want to shout out is PROTEX. PROTEX came on board in 2023 and they've helped us out with the brakes. We've done 5-stud conversion on my car. We've done the brakes on Rondo. We've done the brakes on the Evo. Master cylinders, clutch slave cylinders, ball joints, tie rod ends, brake rotors, brake pads, all that sort of stuff, brake shoes. We're running it full PROTEX catalog in the Evo. So shout out to PROTEX. Thanks so much for supporting me and believing in the channel and believing in what we do here. The next one, which also came on board 2023, is EXEDY clutches. We've got one in Ronda. We've got a beautiful one for the Evo. Wait till you see what we've got for the Evo. It is the sexiest clutch I've ever seen or put in a car by far, so stick around for that in 2024. The next one, T7 Design. Now, T7 Design is an exclusive product brought in from the UK. It's sold only on the Spool Up website, and it's high quality K-Series parts, top-notch billet parts, anodizing, all CAD designed by some engineers in the UK, manufactured in the UK and shipped to Australia. You can only get it from spoolup.com.au, and great stuff. We use it on Ronda, my K-Swap, and the new K-Swap. The next And the biggest sponsor of the channel is RACEWORKS. Now, we have RACEWORKS in every single build. I was using RACEWORKS before I even started YouTube, and RACEWORKS have been supporting us all the last 2.5 years now, probably getting close to 3. So without RACEWORKS, none of these builds would get done. Everything is RACEWORKS in all of my builds. RACEWORKS is on the spoolup.com.au website. I wouldn't sell it if I didn't believe in it, and I wouldn't run it if I didn't think it was the best quality stuff. So I'm blessed that RACEWORKS looks after Turbo Tristan on YouTube and also spoolup.com.au. A fresh sponsor which came on board also during 2023 is ZESTINO tires. We're going to continue to run ZESTINO. I run them on my Civic, we run them on Ronda. A couple of my customers are starting to run them now with really, really great results. And we're going to get rid of these dodgy tires on the Evo and run some ZESTINOs, probably 07RS. I might try out the really sticky ones for the Evo, just so I can test them out. It's not going to be a car that I'm going to drive a lot, so some really sticky tires on this will be awesome. That'll mean they'll hook when they're cold. A couple of honorable mentions is Chicane tools. I've been running them for 3.5 years now without a fault. Absolutely awesome tools. Grab them at any Autobahn store. We've also got old faithful MAXPEEDINGRODS. They were around since day one. I bought their coilovers and stuff when I was doing my first budget build on my EK, and they offered to sponsor me once I got a few hundred subscribers, and they've been with us ever since. Together with myself and MAXPEEDINGRODS, we've improved the coilovers that they're making. They now have some pretty darn good, I would say on par with some more common, more popular brands. I'm not going to say what they are, but you guys will know. I've mentioned it a few times. They are now as good as the most popular coilovers on the market. Still got a long way to go. They've still got a long way to go until they're a world leader, but they're as good as the benchmark now. So that's if you get the T07 design ones, which are the blue and black ones. So check those out. Locally here, as well as spoolup.com.au, I recommend everybody go to Elusive Racing and grab your Honda parts that I don't sell. So they do genuine stuff. They do K-Tune, they do hybrid racing, they do their own headers, which I run on Ronda and on my Civic. All the parts you can't get from me, go get them from Elusive Racing. Top blokes, love them. They help me out all the time, and they have everything in stock in Australia for you Honda guys. Even all the Evo parts I got from there as well, so all the ball joints and stuff. In 2024, we're going to announce a couple of extra sponsors, which I haven't mentioned here yet because we haven't unveiled the parts that we're using yet. So they're going to be unveiled soon in 2024, and you're going to see the new sponsor stuff that we've got. But lastly, the most recent sponsor to come on board was SUPERPRO. And as you saw on the Evo, we've gone through and we've put SUPERPRO on absolutely every single part of this build, every bush, everything all the way through the car, and that's totally going to transform it. We're going to not be scrubbing out tires anymore. We're going to be able to do a proper wheel alignment. We're going to be able to hook the car around corners. So that is something I'm super duper stoked for. I can't wait to feel the difference between what it was and what it is now. So plenty more coming with SUPERPRO in the future. SUPERPRO has an affiliation also. It's the same parent company that run WHITELINE as well. So we've got the full WHITELINE stuff in my Civic, Ronda, the Evo. We've just fitted some stuff in another Civic. More WHITELINE to come in the future. And lastly, the most surprising thing of 2024 was we actually had GARRETT turbochargers. That's right, GARRETT Advancing Motion turbochargers jumped on board to sponsor the VTEG build. They gave us a G30 660 turbo and a 45mm wastegate. I hope we can work more with GARRETT in the future because, hey, I'm Turbo Tristan. We got to turbo more and more stuff. Having GARRETT come on board for that build was a milestone that I'll never forget on the channel. In my opinion, Garrett is the best turbochargers that you can buy in the world, period. There's some other fantastic brands, and I would happily also use those, but given the choice, I would pick Garrett every time. So that was an absolute game changer. I wish that was for my own car, something that was given to me and sponsored on the channel. I passed on the favor, I paid it forward, and I also sponsored that to my customer Nauki, who's also a friend of a friend and now my friend. So I was happy to pay that forward, that sponsorship, which was by far the best thing that's ever happened to the channel. So gonna try and just not buy any more parts and get it slapped back together, get it in the car. We've got some Haltech goodies for this as well. Shout out Haltech, please sponsor me. I rave about your products. So you've got a good spokesperson right here, Haltech. So only run Haltech in all my cars as well. Anyway, that's going to be it. Don't forget, spool up, bring the boost. We'll see you in 2024 for some more content. We're going to get the Evo running on the road very, very soon. It's not far away. It looks really empty now, but we get the bearings, we get the engine put back together. We've got the clutch already. We've got everything to put that all back together, back in the car, drive shafts in, all the wiring's already done. We've got the Haltech stuff. It just depends if I want to start getting fancy and start painting more parts on the outside of the car or not. It's all ready to go back together. It's just a matter of some bearings and slam it all together. Don't forget, spool up, bring the boost. We'll see you in the next video in 2024. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and thank you so much for your support in 2023. Bigger, better next year.